Good afternoon, everyone. If you follow this channel, then you might have noticed that I recently uploaded the 50-second and final video of Be Like Ben, the Ben Franklin challenge that I gave myself in New Year's 2019 to live one entire calendar year according to Ben Franklin's Moral Perfection Project. I have always admired Ben both as a founding father and as a person. Back when I was in elementary school, and my mom would take me back home, I would turn on the TV to PBS Kids and watch Liberty's Kids. Just a children's show that teaches kids about the American Revolution, and Ben Franklin was one of the main characters. But recently, I've been really wanting to learn more about Ben, because a lot of experts, a lot of self-help books will tell you something along the lines of, focus all your passion, all your energy, all your time into that one thing in which you want to be successful in, where you want to grow in, where you want to kick ass in. I don't want to just be a specialist in one thing. I don't want to be known for one thing. I want to be well versed in many things, a breadth of things. Just take a look at Ben's resume according to Wikipedia. Benjamin Franklin was an American polymath and one of the founding fathers of the United States. Franklin was a leading writer, printer, political philosopher, politician, Freemason, postmaster, scientist, inventor, humorist, civic activist, statesman, and diplomat. Wow, that is a Swiss Army knife of skills and talents. We are here for such a short time on Earth. I do not want to spend my few decades that I have here just refining and perfecting myself in one field of knowledge. Hell no. I want to know all the things. If you're new to the channel, Ben describes his Moral Perfection Project in the second part of his autobiography. He started it after running away from Boston to Philadelphia because he really wanted to make a name for himself in Pennsylvania. However, that could only be done by improving himself. You can't improve the community without first improving yourself. To do so, he outlined a list of 13 virtues at the side of his notebook, as well as the days of the week at the top of it. He would focus on one of the 13 virtues per week. 13 times 4 is 52, as in 52 weeks per year. Conveniently, he could repeat the cycle 4 times a year, like I did. If he were to break a virtue, regardless of which virtue he was supposed to focus on in any given week, he would make an X on the day of the week and the virtue, so he could see which virtues he was best in and which virtues he needed to improve upon. The original virtues are temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation, cleanliness, tranquility, chastity, and humility. However, for my case, I did switch some of the virtues into similar ones or other habits in order to make better sense for my own lifestyle. For example, I switched silence to attention. It's like silence, but with a purpose. My mind tends to wander, so I switched silence to attention. I switched order to education. I really value reading books, reading every single day to learn new things, like Ben did. I switched moderation to awakening. It's like a moderation on laziness. I switched tranquility to stoicism, the philosophy of stoicism. I should make a video about that, but that's a topic for another time. And I switched chastity for Napoleon Hill's idea of sex transmutation, the idea of redirecting sexual urges into creativity and growth. After I got that combination of Ben's virtues and my virtues and habits into one spreadsheet that I made myself, instead of a notebook, I used the screensaver on my phone. Just like Ben, I kept track about which ones I missed which ones I broke, and the days of the week in which I broke them. And after that, I passed all that information into an Excel spreadsheet. It looks beautiful right now. And let's see what the final results overall have to say. After I passed everything from my phone screensaver to the Excel spreadsheet, this is what it looks like. Here's quarter 1, here's quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. I go through the results of each individual quarter in the 4 progress reports that I released earlier last year. However, let's look at the final results to evaluate this year as a whole. In this graph, we show by quarter how many times I broke each one of my 13 virtues. The green represents which virtue I broke the least, the red, which one I broke most. Humility overall was the winner, but I really got to work on waking up early. The most improved virtue was stoicism. However, the virtue that I did not improve on was education. Looks like as the year went on, I found less and less time to read. But if we look at the averages, the best virtue, like I said, was humility, followed by sincerity, cleanliness, justice, frugality, resolution, education, sex transmutation, attention, industry, stoicism, temperance, and awakening. But now the question becomes, what good came out of it? What good came of living by Ben's Moral Perfection Project, living Ben's 13 virtues or similar virtues thereof for one entire calendar year? What good came out of it? Well, to begin with, it really put things into perspective as to what I should improve upon. For example, I gave myself the 2020 New Year's resolution to wake up at 7 as much as I can. Apart from that, I really feel that 2019 was the most productive year of my life by far. It's definitely fair to say that the 13 virtues did partake in being a factor for this. But, for example, 2019 was the first calendar year where I always had a book in my hands. Ben was a voracious reader. He learned from a variety of sources, and I did exactly that. Apart from reading, I also did a shitload of networking. Ben was also a very ambitious networker. He networked the hell out of Philadelphia, and he got involved, or he created organizations that made that possible, that made that easier for him. I joined quite a few organizations here in the community that are or would be up Ben's alley, including, here it is, Toastmasters. Toastmasters is the International Public Speaking Club. I've talked about it a couple times on this channel. Toastmasters reminds me a lot about Ben's Junto Club, which he started in his early 20s. It attracted middle-class workers and tradesmen from Philadelphia, but they were all united with the common goal of improving themselves and the community. I like to think of it as a combination between Toastmasters, self-improvement, and Rotary, the Rotary Club, community improvement. And you know what's weird? Look what's in the back of this month's Toastmaster magazine. Rotary and Toastmasters team up. Hopefully some collaboration can come out of the local Rotary Club, and maybe then we'll be a little bit more like Ben, improving both ourselves and the community. I do like to credit every achievement, every accomplishment, every goal that I set in 2019. Ben was definitely an inspiration for it. There have been a couple of times where an opportunity was presented to me and I did think, gee, I don't know. I don't think I deserve it. I don't think I'm up to par. Oh no. But then I asked myself a very important question to ask oneself. What would Ben Franklin do? And then you go for it. You learn it, you add it to your repertoire of diverse ass knowledge, and you use whatever you learned from that opportunity to build up to the next one. I loved my 2019 living as Ben. I will continue to live 2020 as Ben. I do, in fact, have the screensaver on my phone right now. This is the end of week 1 temperance. Let's see where this takes me. Whatever your resolution is for 2020, stick with it. All resolutions, whatever they are, they serve to improve you. Do not be discouraged if you missed a couple of times. You get back up, you get back on your lane, you keep on going. It disappoints me when someone gives up on their resolution a couple of weeks in. No. A resolution without a plan is just a wish. Get back to it. Get back to where you were and keep on progressing. That's how it's done. That's how Ben did it. That's how I hope you will do it as well. I hope 2020 is filled with growth wherever you are in the world. Whatever resolution you have, stick with it and use it to grow and improve yourself and maybe even the community. We'll have a great 2020. Take care. Kick ass.